What is going on, everybody? Your boy Ed back at it again with a brand new video on Halloween. Yes, sir. For those of you that are wondering what the fuck happened right here, well, check it out. Someone threw a little pebble through the window and it penetrated the glass and it broke the glass, but we're gonna get that fixed tomorrow. But ain't nothing to worry about. It's replaceable. What you can replace, you shouldn't worry about. But anyways, I'm making this video because I want to kind of give you guys a little introduction on how I got here, okay? How Eduardo Salvador Mejia Cardiel, which is me, got here today. How did we come up with Benevolent Barbers? What were the scenarios, the events in my life that led up to me opening up my first barbershop at the age of 28. I'm 29 now, but I opened this up about almost 2 years ago. Okay, this upcoming June will be 2 years. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the day that I was born, the day that I was introduced into this beautiful world, which was February 27, 1995. Yes, sir. Born in Mexico, immigrated to the US of A when I was 3 years old. Okay, I was still an infant. I was still a baby. I don't remember much, but I was brought to the US of A 1997, 1998. We settled in a little town, which is now the Mecca, the heart of the Silicon Valley, which I think it is, which is Sunnyvale, California. You know, I basically grew up in Sunnyvale. Okay, I did not pick up a pair of clippers until I was the age of 15. Okay, the age of 15, that was back in 2009, 2010. Okay, that's when I decided to pick up a pair of clippers. You see, back then nobody was really cutting hair. Actually, no one was cutting hair. Barbering wasn't even a thing. Barbering wasn't even seen as like, oh, that's something cool to do. You see, there was no Instagram. MySpace was still around, kind of dying out by then, but Facebook was the one that was popping. So by the time that I decided to pick up a pair of clippers, I was the age of 15. And what initially got me to pick up a pair of clippers was that my friends used to go down to the salons, the local barbershops in town, and they were coming back with messed up hair. You know, I would look at the haircuts and I'll just be like, damn, it can't be that hard to give a good haircut, which automatically sparked that curiosity in me to pick up a pair of clippers. So that summer, my sophomore year, going into junior year, I decided to pick up a pair of clippers and practice on my friends. In the beginning, I was just lining people up, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And I decided to finally buy my first pair of clippers. You see, I had told my dad, hey, Dad, I want these clippers. They're about 20, 30 bucks. He's like, okay, cool. Where can you buy them? And I said, there's a store in Mountain View called Sally's Supply Store next to Walmart. And he said, okay, next time we go to Walmart, we'll stop by and we'll buy you that clipper. You see, at 14, 15, I had no money, so I still had to ask my parents for money, you know. And I was trying to pick up this haircutting thing with the possibility of making some money, right? So check it out. We go into Sally's, and my first pair of clipper is a T outliner, right? The T outliner, just to line people up, just to work on the lineups, because that's what I was only doing. I was just doing lineups in the beginning, right? We go to pay. My dad says, okay, how much? He says $70. My dad's like, what? $70? You said it was $20. And I was like, oh, I think I kind of misread it. And he was just kind of like, he was kind of furious, you know, because $70 back in 2009, 2010, that's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. Even now, it's $70 is still a lot of money, right? But anyways, well, check out inflation, right? Look, $70 for a T outliner back then. Now T outliners are what, 150, 160, 180? I don't know. They're up there, right? 120, I don't know, but they're obviously a lot more than $70. So obviously with inflation, right? But anyways, long story short, my dad gets mad because he just spent $70 on a clipper, right? He looks at me and tells me, hey, you better make that money back. He tells me, you better make that money back. You better start lining up your friends and you better start charging them and you better make that money back. Right then and there, I was just in disbelief. I was like, shit, he really wants me to make this money back. But he said it's so serious that to the point where I was like, damn, this man is serious. I gotta make his money back, you know. I just made him spend $70 on a clipper. Long story short, we went to Walmart and I'm like, damn, now I got the liners. I need a clipper now, right? I got the liners. Now I need a actual hair clipper. My mom bought me a $20 set from Walmart, the Conair one or the Wall one, the basic one that comes with that Walmart sells that every barber starts with. She bought me that one, right? So I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I had my clipper set, and now the hardest part was convincing my friends to let me practice hair cutting on them. Luckily enough, I was able to convince a few of them, and from there it just took off, you know. I had one of my closest friends that I knew from preschool. He came knocking at my door one day and he was like, hey bro, I heard you're cutting hair. And I was like, I am, bro, but I don't do hair because I just give you a lineup. He's like, hey man, honestly, just cut my hair down, bro. Practice on me. And to this day, he still comes, you know. So shout out to my boy that, you know who you is, that allowed me to practice my reps to get better. And so I had picked up cutting hair that sophomore year, going into junior year. So going into junior year, I'm here developing the skills of learning how to cut. And junior year comes around, Instagram comes up, right? Instagram pops up. It's early 2011, 2010 when Instagram comes out. Everyone's like, oh, you need to get on Instagram. You need to get on Instagram. And at the time, I had an Android phone, so Instagram first came out on the iPhone. So if you had an iPhone, you were able to get Instagram first, and then later on they developed it for the Android, right? So I had an Android. All the cool kids had an iPhone. You know, I didn't even get a cell phone until I was a sophomore, right? But long story short, right, I had an Android. I was late to Instagram. Not late, but you know, like after it came out for the iPhone, eventually came on the Android. And when I joined Instagram, everyone was like, oh bro, you got to put hashtag, you got to do the hashtags, you got to do the hashtags. Like, what is a hashtag? It's like hashtag whatever your picture is, and you could find a community of people that are doing whatever your picture is doing, right? So at the time I was uploading a lot of my haircuts. So then I was like, what if I hashtag barber, or what if I hashtag haircuts? So I would hashtag barber and haircuts, and I would click on the hashtag, and there would be a bunch of other barbers, right? And I thought I was the only barber, right? Silly me, right? I forget that how big the world is, right? So I would click on the hashtag and I would just see a bunch of barbers pop up all over, and I was like, holy shit, this barbering thing is actually a thing, right? There's actually a lot more barbers out there. So I started connecting with a lot of these barbers early on Instagram. You know, I started following them, started looking at their techniques, you know, the whole barber industry blew up. It blew up from the time that I started cutting hair to now. And even now it's getting bigger than ever, right? It's almost like a lifestyle thing, right? So I've been a barber since before it was even cool being a barber. That's how OG I am. I got 15 plus years in the game, right? So going back to my story, all crazy, I'm over here gassing myself up. But anyways, going back to my story, what I was telling you, how I became a barber, right? Instagram started coming out. I started seeing there's all these other cool barbers. I started building up my clientele during junior year, messing up a lot of haircuts, but along the way getting better, convincing more friends. Eventually I convinced almost half the school to come and get haircuts with me, right? So that was really cool. Senior year comes, I'm doubling down on my haircuts, I'm getting better as I go. I start thinking about my career now, okay? At that point I never really thought about barbering being a full-time career. I honestly didn't. I didn't even think it was a career. I thought it was just more of a hobby. But I started seeing it more as like a possibility of it becoming a career, right? Which look where we at now. We're here, right? We here now, right, baby? We here. But anyways, senior year comes. I'm doubting myself whether I should go to college or I should just go and pursue this whole barber thing, right? I took the leap of faith and I decided to become a barber, right? And I'm here to tell you, ever since I become a barber, nothing has ever been the same. It has allowed me to grow the way that I am growing. Okay? It has allowed me to see the world for what it really is, right? It has allowed me to break from that mindset, that traditional mindset of, oh, you need to go to college, you need to get a 9 to 5, and you need to work the corporate ladder to get to the top, right? Barbering introduced entrepreneurship for me, right? And I know I could speak on behalf of a lot of barbers out there that barbering has opened so many doors in the entrepreneurship world, right? That it was almost a blessing in disguise that I went the route of barbering, right? It really changed the way my life ended up being. My life is good, okay? No complaints. Struggles, but no complaints, okay? You need the struggles, right? But like I was telling y'all, man, senior year came, decided after high school, I'm gonna be a barber. Right after high school, got my license at the age of, I think, 18, 19. I was a young buck, little young buck, That class went on to open a lot of great establishments all over the Bay Area, A lot of the fundamental San Jose shops that are a staple of San Jose today are from the class that I graduated, It was almost to the point where I was seeing all my classmates open up their shops, and I was like one of the last ones to finally open up my own barbershop. But going back to the story, right? I graduated high school, went to barber school, got my license, worked at a couple shops in San Jose, Sunnyvale, then jumped to Santa Cruz, was out there for 3 years. Pandemic happens, right? The pandemic happens. I stopped cutting for about a year and some change. I get a job at UPS delivering packages. That was a crazy experience. With my respect to you UPSers, you guys are do some labor, man, and I got to witness that firsthand. When the pandemic happened, shops were closed, everything was closed, and I ended up getting a job at UPS, and I was thugging it out for about 8-9 months, and I realized how much I miss barbering. I came back to barbering after the pandemic was over, and I build myself up now to the point where I'm at here, and why I was able to acquire this, right? Because I got to a position in my life where I was like, you know what, I've been in the game for a long time. Like, I've been at shops, I help shops open, I know how they operate, I know what's missing, I know what I can do, right? Which it just sparked the flame in me, and I realized, like, I can't keep just working at barbershops and thinking I'm going to make these barbershops better. I need to just open my own establishment and learn and make it the way that I want it to be, right? And that's exactly where we're at now, right? We're here now with Benevolent Barbers, And when I got the opportunity to open up my shop, I asked myself, what do I want the shop to do for me, right? I asked myself, as a matter of fact, what do I want the name of the shop to be? And that was a very, very hard question to answer. And I was gonna name it something basic as San Jose Barber Lounge, or San Jose Barbers, or something just cringy, something just basic. But I told myself, I was like, no, I want my barbershop to have a meaning. I want it to mean something. I don't just want it to be a barbershop. I want it to be an establishment where change is possible, where someone can come in through these doors. They think they're getting a haircut, but in reality, they are getting a consultation on how they think, why they think, what are their struggles in their life, what's going on that they're having a hard time with that they can't get over. You see, this establishment here is more than just a barbershop. It's a place where you could come, de-stress yourself as a man, open up as a man, feel like for the first time you could be yourself, okay? And the reason I say this is because more than ever, I see it more than ever, right? including with my clients, there's a huge mental health crisis. Okay, there's a huge mental health crisis in men. I'm pretty sure it's in women as well, but I feel men just, it's huge, right? That's why the suicide numbers are higher in men, right? Because a lot of men suppress their emotions, their feelings, how they're feeling, and they just don't want to be vulnerable, right? Because they think society is going to label them as weak. And truth be told, I think it's actually really strong when you decide to really let your emotions out, because it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable. Okay, it's actually opposite, right? When you're the weak one, when you can't have the courage enough to speak on your emotions. Okay, so if you're able to speak on your emotions and let your emotions out, you're actually the strong one, right? So that's what I wanted to do here at Benevolent Barbers, is create that environment for men where they could come and just relax, feel the vibe, talk about whatever's on their chest. You know, at the end of the day, like, this is my shop. Okay? This is my shop. I've created it to the point where I want it to be how I want it to be. Okay? There is no bullshit allowed here. I don't allow it, because I've been at shops where bullshit is tolerated and it just doesn't serve nobody. Okay? There is no bullshit tolerated here. We're here to make a difference. Not just with the haircut, but with the conversations, right? For God's sake, I got books, I got books at the barbershop. You know how many times people tell me, wow, that's odd, I've never seen books at a barbershop. Whoa, it seems like you're educated because you got some pretty good books up there. I've been judged so many times by people, okay? And as soon as they sit in this chair and they look at the books that I have, they go, oh, okay, well, it seems like you're pretty educated. It seems like you know what you're talking about. And I'm like, boy, what is that supposed to mean, right? But I don't take anything personal. But what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm trying to change the stigma that surrounds barbershops. I think barbershops are very special places, and I feel like barbershops can operate in a way where they create the most positive influence in the youth, in the people that walk in through the doors, right? Because think about it, when you get a client that you never met and is trusting you for the first time to do something on their hair, that's a lot of trust. That's a lot of trust that's being given. And you see, once you have that trust with the client, you have to nourish it, okay? Nourish it, develop it, the relationship with the client, to the point where he benefits from you every time he comes and sees you as the barber, right? Because not only are you now just giving him a great haircut, now you are giving him a consultation on the struggles that he is facing in his life, right? And the only way you could do that is by self-improving yourself, right? Doing things that make you a better person, that your clients, your family members are going to start seeing the change in you. And what better way to teach the change than with your clients? You already have their trust with their hair. So if you tell them how they can improve their life, and if they already trust you, you can have a huge positive impact in their lives. You see, I'm seeing this barber game different, okay? I'm not just seeing it as a, let's do haircuts. No. This is, how can we build relationships with our clients to help them, okay? Not only with their appearance, mentally, okay? If you could change their mindset, you can change their life. You can change the whole world, because everything is mind. Everything is mindset, baby. Everything is mental. Once you understand that everything is mental, your life won't be the same ever again. I'm telling you. You guys probably think I'm crazy. You guys probably think, man, this boy is talking crazy. But no. No, I'm not. I believe in me, okay? I know I was brought into this world for a damn reason, okay? This is why I talk the way I talk. So that's how Benevolent Barbers became to be, right? To finish off the story, I know I went all over the place right now, but to finish off the story, I was trying to come up with the concept on what should I name my shop. And, you know, my wife, being the amazing human being she is, she said, hey, why don't you name your barbershop Benevolent Barbers? And I was like, Benevolent Barbers? First of all, I couldn't even pronounce benevolent, right? I was like, I couldn't even pronounce it, okay? I couldn't even pronounce the goddamn word. I really had to take my time and pronounce it, right? Benevolent. Benevolent. And the way it looks is very unique, right? It's very unique wording sequence, right? Benevolent. And I was like, what's the meaning to that, baby? She goes, it's the act of doing good towards others. And I said, I love it. I need it. I want it. Let's do it. So here we are now. Benevolent Barbers, right? Barbers that do good for people. You know what I'm saying? So this is how I'm utilizing this establishment, is that I'm just trying to help the average man, right? The average individual. Not only through a haircut, but through a conversation, asking the right questions that provoke the right emotions for you to understand why you're feeling the certain way that you're feeling. Questions to make you see your point of view from a different vantage point, right? From a different perspective, right? And I'm very good at that. I'm very good at asking powerful questions that lead to powerful answers. This is why I stay busy. Okay. A lot of my clients don't come just to get haircuts. Okay. I wish they did. A lot of my clients come to get a haircut and a conversation. Okay. Look, the future looks bright. Okay. And the reason I say that is because when you infuse purpose, right? Purpose, business, and the greater cause of doing good for humanity or for the people around you, you can't be stopped. The process might be slow, but you can't be stopped. And that's how I feel right now, is that I can't be stopped regardless of whatever adversity comes my way, right? Okay, they throw a rock through my window. Big deal. We get it replaced. We're back to business, right? We're back to business, right? We're back to business. Let's go. Okay, what's next? You got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on going. You can't sit there and dwell on your shortcomings. You can't. You can't. You can't. Man, I got a lot of fire in me today on this beautiful Halloween evening. Sheesh. If you made it this far, you're a real one. You're a true one. Thank you for the support. Okay? Thank you. Seriously, thank you. But yeah, that's the story behind Benevolent Barbers, right? We're here to help you. We're here for the greater cause of you. You know what I'm saying? My end goal here is to have you sit in the chair, build a relationship with you where I can help you not just with your appearance, but with your confidence, your communication, your leadership. You know what I'm saying? That to me goes a long way, because ultimately what I'm doing is I'm trying to shape my clients to be better versions of themselves so they could go and help the people around them, whether it be their family, their friends, their spouses, their partners, whatever it is, right? If I can influence my client to be a better version of themselves, okay, and they are seeing improvement every single time that they're coming to get a service by me because of the conversations that we're having, guess what I'm doing? I'm helping the world change one person at a time. And boy, let me tell you, that feeling right there, that's God's work right there. And I believe God sent me. Okay, I believe God sent me into this world to go through my own trials and tribulations, my own mistakes, my own failures, and help other people overcome their shortcomings, their failures, their misfortunes, right? And that's powerful. Okay. I hope the message resonates with y'all. I hope you now know why I do what I do. It's not easy. It's actually really hard. But, when you have passion and you have purpose and you have meaning, shit, the sky's the limit, baby. Let's go. I'm going to leave you out with that one, okay? This has been your boy signing out. Thank you once again. Ski.